the schedule that you follow, that makes it a lot easier, because then you know what you're committed to give each month.
To be honest, I would want to do that. I want to do that. It's just that, as you guys already know, this year we have a it's really crazy, and it's
Yeah,
not
of
a
course.
typical year.
Yeah.
So we have, for example, between March to June, we have like really nothing to sell whatsoever, right? Because at that time it's been
Understood.
yeah, and then now as well. So it really throw us from the normal rail, so to say, right? So it's hard with the commitment, because if you make that commitment and then you cannot deliver, then maybe I will be violating the law or something, right? If you're not paying your stuff. So that's why I was thinking.
I think right, you can put a range based on the position.
Saya suruh tutup pada awal kan hari ni.
Mute kan dulu untuk Puan Intan tu sekejap.
No. Saya suruh tutup kedai tak. Sorry.
See, that's what I was actually suggesting to her, that she have a proper salary structure. Then at least you know exactly what you're doing, because without a proper salary structure, you need to map it out first.
Right.
What I'm saying is that if you are unsure of like the fluctuation, right, you can actually set quite a big range or so, and like maybe from 2,000 to 5,000 for this kind of position. Next position is 4,000 to 8,000, something like that, so that you got room.
Yeah, you have a bracket. So in that sense, you have a bracket that you can play with.
What do you mean? Instead of setting a fixed amount, you actually have this what do you call it?
Range.
A range. So that, it comes back to my question. So it means that it's possible. If it's range, it means that it's not fixed and it will fluctuate from.
No. When T and I actually mentioning this range, it doesn't mean that let's say, for example, let's say if you are taking a salary, let's say you are falling within the range of 4,000 to 8,000. Okay, let's say, for example, this month, if you are on a fixed payroll, this month your salary cannot be 4,100, and then the next month 4,300. Cannot. That's not what we're saying. We say, when we're saying that there is a salary bracket for it, okay, so what happens is that if you have fixed the salary for 4,100, okay, that means until the next appraisal that takes place, until the next increment exercise, okay, you cannot touch the salary. It remains the same unless something extraordinary happens where you want to promote the staff or something, then it's a different story. But otherwise, it remains the same. So if you've committed 4,100, that means for the next 12 months, it remains that way. You have to set up this policy, this structure. You have to set up indicating when you're going to do appraisals, when is increment going to be given each year, what is your bonus payout like. You have to indicate all these things very clearly. These things need to be absolutely clear to all employees. Otherwise, you'll end up in the industrial court.
So basically, from our employees' perspective, our pay structure is very clear. Like for our admin, it's fixed, and then for us, the core people, we take commission from the sale. But now I need to figure out a new strategy.
Yes, you need to work it out, map it out, because from the way, I mean, I'm just listening to you. I think you don't have it in place because it looks a bit. The structure is not there. So if you don't have a proper salary structure, it's going to be very messy. Because what if you get employees, like all of a sudden, you get somebody who has worked with you, let's say for 3 years, and they're drawing maybe 4,000. Okay, I'm giving you an example. And then you get someone who comes in and who has been with you maybe for a year. Okay, and how are you going to decide the amount that you're going to pay this person? And this person is doing the same job as the other person.
Okay. But the thing is that for us, we because I've been in the corporate world and I know how the salary structure, the appraisal, all these processes. I think in our business, right, we try to set it as such that those who perform, those who perform will, get the reward or remuneration, right?
Okay.
Because I know we are still small, to be honest. We're still small, so I'm not even talking about bonuses and whatnot.
All right.
So we're small.
So, sorry to interrupt you, but when you talk about performance, my question again to you is this: what is your performance structure? How do you evaluate? How do you do your appraisals?
So it's very easy. We do it quarterly. So we have we have targets, right? Like for example, our leaders is supposed to grow their team, and then also of course reach target sales. So basically the performance is that via results basically. Basically it's two. I mean all these things have been emphasized and have been briefed towards for all employees when they join our teams. So it's going to be based in actual result, which is like amount of sales, and secondly also effort. Right? Because of course when we work as a team, even though we all work remotely, we have to see some sort of effort, right? For example, promoting our products or services. If people do not they just like ride the wave, right? So we have people like that. They don't deliver work, but they still get commission just because other people help them to do it, for example, right?
But in all fairness, that's really something that's besides the point. The thing is here, you need to have things documented. Otherwise, there will be a lot of unfairness which will crop up eventually. You will start having a lot of issues. So be mindful of that.
Okay.
Get your thing properly structured.
Right.
Please don't mess around with this, because you're from corporate. You know what will happen. Yeah, because these things are very sensitive, especially when it comes to salary issues. People talk.
Yeah.
People talk. No matter how much we say otherwise, but people talk, and within the organization also people talk. So we need to ensure that you've got everything in place. All right, make sure that those things are in place before you do anything.
Okay.
Because if you just do it based on your whims and fancies, if you are doing verbally and stuff like that,
we don't do it verbally. Everything is being all the policy and for example, the payment structure is all being updated in writing to the teams. So people know what they're getting involved. But a lot of our teams are not really full-time staff. They're just like drop ships and stuff. Drop ships or agents. And we only have a few. Actually, the core team itself is very small. The core team itself.
So you need to make a decision on that. Who you're going to include into your payroll, who you're going to keep on permanent payroll, who's going to be on part-time, who is it that you're going to contribute EPF for. You need to have all this mapped out.
Yeah. Already, I have a slight idea, but definitely have to work on it, like what you mentioned.
Come up with the salary scale. If you are uncertain, you can check with me. Okay, because that's my background as well, so you can check with me on how this works. You can also check with Delay. Right, she's got HR background. T would be a good person too. Anyone else who has done payroll? I know Aaron is also familiar with it. So I think there are a few of us here that you can check. Okay, if you need assistance with the employee handbook and stuff like that, check with me as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
But our main concern right now is, I know that it's important for corporate governance and a lot of these SOPs to be in place. But my main concern right now is that how to make the business work, to churn the profit. Because without business, without profit, then there's no point talking about this, because we don't have capital to fit into their payroll.
So when you get there, then reach out to us if you need our help. I'm sure everyone here will be willing to help. Okay. You also asked about if some of the people who work for us are weekend consultants, they have their real profession, day job. How do we place them in our corporate governance? Now, consultants, what are you using them for?
I think because we just launched our online. It's not online. It's actually a learning platform. Learning platform, a wholesome learning platform. It's called Swag School. So I'm not from IT background, but I do the website myself. But I also get the help from an IT engineer, to look at a workflow. Of course, in terms of website itself, there's sometimes there's problems, right? And then because our website also has a lot of complicated stuff like purchase, and then auto reply, auto sending email to our clients who have purchased our products or services. And then we have right now maybe more than for our swag mentors, we have to deal with like 200 people right now who are currently offering their service, teaching service at our swag school. So there's a lot of IT processes involved, or digitalization stuff. Yeah. So we get the help of them. Well, to be honest, all the people that work with me right now, they are not like stranger or outside. A lot of them, first they work pro bono, but eventually you have to pay, right? Because most of them are my friends or mostly my family, and then friends, like my brother, sister, or my best friend. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I wonder how does that service, because if we pay them, right, it should be under what is just a cost of
It's an operating cost.
Yeah.
It's not a staff cost. It's an operating cost because they don't work for you guys.
Okay.
Because you just engage them for their services, correct?
Yeah. Sometimes like.
So it's an operating cost.
Yeah.
Please don't put them into your payroll and don't start giving them commissions and stuff like that, because you only utilize them for a certain period for their services and then you pay them and just finish it.
Yeah.
It's an operation cost. It's not something it's not a recurring expense. Am I right?
No, but for now, of course, they provide continuous support, but it's not something. Like you said just now, I still need to figure it out. I still need to figure my business out. Basically, who's should be on payroll, who should be on commission, for example.
Yeah, because if you get those things mapped out, then you don't have other issues. At least you get things sorted out.
Diana, I think yours works pretty much same like Grab like that. And as far as I understand, Grab drivers don't get all these EPFs and stuff.
Yeah, but Grab drivers equals our swag mentors or our partners, which is the teachers, or like maybe your software school that's going to be listed on our swag school. But right now we're talking about the technical people who are behind our core business that help us support our website.
Okay.
Yeah, that help us provide workflow, IT workflow, what our student or what our teachers supposed to do in our learning platform.
Yeah, so they're not your staff actually. So
okay. Right. So they're gonna fall under OPEX.
Okay, so the other two things that are there, I will leave it to Mr. Ilango and Mr. Elias.
Okay.
Okay. Let them come back to you on that. So
Thank you so much.
I assist you with the areas that I'm familiar with the additional things. I'll let the rest of them come back to you with that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you. So Ben, thank you everyone.
All right. Shall we get started? Okay, come. Who's disabled? Colin?
Yes.
I think you need to enable me to do the screen sharing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Sorry about that. Here we go. Now, this is an area which is interesting. All of you have got companies registered. Some of you have not. Those of us who are already in it, we know what's involved and how things work. So let's just go through this. If you have any doubts, any clarifications, or you want to add on, you're free to do so. So please, let's just look at this area for today. Now, for those of us who have not started a business, there are some of us here who have not gone into a business proper. We're not sure what we're going to start. So we need to find out first, what is it that you want to do? Decide on that first before you choose what kind of a business you want to go into, the type of businesses that you want to go into. Okay. I guess if you're just going to do something on your own, then of course sole proprietorship will be the way to go. But if you're looking at something that's going to be, that you want to grow over time and you want to take it to the next level, then look at the other options that are available to you. But first and foremost, please decide, what do you want to do first before you go on to a business model? What kind of business model should you choose? Decide on what kind of products or services that you're going to get into first. Without that, it's going to be pretty messy. Again, I'm going to use the word messy because you don't know what you're doing and you'll be all over the place. So try to avoid that from happening. So decide what you want to do before you choose your business model. You're familiar with this, sole proprietorship. We know it's one owner. There are advantages and disadvantages there also. All right. So I'm not going to read every single thing because, as I said, you guys can figure it out. You don't need me to read everything from the slide. Okay. Stop me if there's something that you want to ask or if there's something that you wish to share, please. We talk about partnership. Here you go. We're talking about the advantages and the disadvantages as well. All right. 2 or more persons, but not exceeding 20 persons. Okay, for partnership. Can I know how many of you are into LLP? Hang on. Okay, T is there. Anyone else?
LIP tu apa? Tak nampak.
LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. Nampak tak? Hang on.
Saya tak guna.
Okay. Hafizah says she has got 3 companies using LLP. All right. So T, Hafizah, both of you, can you share a little bit of your experience in LLP, please?
So you can go first.
Yeah. Hafizah? Is Hafizah there?
Oh,
Hafizah cannot talk.
okay.
Okay, T, maybe you can share your experience using LLP because this is kind of, I use LLP as well, so maybe you can share a little bit.
What kind of experience are you looking at exactly?
I mean, in comparison to, let's say for Sendirian Berhad, because a lot of people mistake NLP for Sendirian Berhad as well.
Right. Okay. I first discovered this structure, I think, 3-4 years ago, and I found that for one. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry for that. Yeah, I found that for one, the registration cost is very cheap. It's only $500, and
Exactly.
also the one downside is that you need at least 2 partners lah. So
Yeah.
um,
2 people at least.
yeah, there has to be directors to the company, and the good thing about this is that, as I mentioned just now, you don't have to submit audited accounts to LHDN. So it's just a self-declaration filing.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty low-cost structure, and also in comparison to the other standard kind of partnership, right? This limited liability protects us in future against lawsuit to limit the damages, potential damages, just to the company only, and does not creep into your own personal funds lah. That's all I have to share. I don't know what else.
I think okay, on my side, just to share a little bit on the NLP part, because I've gone through some struggles as well. You notice, I think you, both of us would have encountered this. The form is for LHDN and all that. You can't download it. They don't have it. Yeah. So,
but last year they made it online already.
Available already, yeah?
Yeah.
I remember when I started off.
Yeah, when we started off, correct. But then last year when I went to LHDN to hand in, they turned me away. They said, go and fill it online.
They didn't have, I think when they actually implemented this, when they started this, they didn't have everything in place. So they just went on and did it. And I realized that, a lot of systems, it was not functioning as how it should.
Yep.
And there was no clarity, because even when I called up LHDN to register and stuff like that, there's quite a bit of a challenge. And then you have to go take the form, fill it in, and then you can only send the whole declaration thing to LHDN in, where's this place? In Bangi.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that is the only place that you can send it to. I'm glad now, I think it's online, so things have changed. But that's the thing, you encounter things that, there are some struggles here and there also. So that's why I wanted some feedback from you as well, because I talked to a lot of people, and some people don't even know that such a thing exists.
No, I agree with you. Back then when it was just a few years old, then yes, they had this very cumbersome process. But I'm glad they now changed it, and it's easier for everyone now. I would recommend new startups to actually go for this structure actually.
True, LLP, yes, because it's quite easy actually to manage. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for sharing.
I have a different opinion about new startup. Sorry.
No problem.
Yeah,
Please share.
I have a different opinion about new startup going LLP.
All right.
On the basis that if the startup, let's say if the startup is building a technology business and planning for it to be invested in the future, then LLP is not suitable to invite institutionalized investment. That's my very limited knowledge and opinion.
Okay.
What do you think, Jude? As in Sendirian Berhad is still the most matured and recognized structure
Definitely, of course. I mean, Sendirian Berhad comes with a lot of perks as well, right? I mean, in terms of even if you want to go and open a company account, they value you differently if you're a Sendirian Berhad company.
Yeah, correct. If you're a IT tech kind of startup, right, Sendirian Berhad works better. I've had the experience before, right, when showing my full entity name, something PLT, the other person will be like, what kind of company is this? Is this even a Malaysian company?
Exactly. I've been
Hello,
there and
hello.
experienced it as well.
So yeah, it's just on many angles. To run on the basis of running a long-term business and to build an investable business, should go for shouldn't take LLP route for the short-term cost saving, but just go for a Sendirian Berhad structure.
Immediate. You're saying go immediate.
That's my point of view. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Sorry, my laptop crashed. Still, I couldn't get it fixed because it's a MacBook. So I need to get few spare part repair. So it's going to take a while. So I'm using my phone now. So just to share, I've been using this LLP company for 3 years already. So I have a Sendirian Berhad company before. I find out that Sendirian Berhad is actually quite a hassle actually. So because I need to do auditing, I have to pay my secretary fees every month and everything. So after that, I closed down the company. So everything, Sendirian Berhad. And then I started with this LLP. So for me, it's better than Sendirian Berhad because first I don't have to get it audited. So the accounting, I use the account software, and also I do my own management account. And after that, end of the year, so you have to submit your annual return. So you need to have one compliance officer. So I'm still using my company secretary before, so I appointed her as my compliance officer. So it's easier that way. And then another thing that you have to do is you have to get yourself registered with LHDN for your income tax. So you have to declare for each company, so you know all how much you're getting and everything. So yeah. So I'm not sure how if other people have been using it as well or not, but for me, I find it's more easier for me to manage because the business is not that big yet. So last time I opened the Sendirian Berhad because, you know, I was thinking about getting the tender and everything. So probably it can make it smoother, the process. But in the end, I found out that for LLP, I also can, you know, still can join tender. I have registered my company with MOF and also get my Bumi Putra license. So I think it's okay. Yeah.
LLP, you managed to register with MOF?
Yes. And I got my Bumi Putra license as well.
You
for
did
my
that
pharmacy.
Recently?
Yeah. Recently. Yeah.
Okay. So I think they are being more flexible these days already, yeah?
Yes. Because last time I know back then 5 years ago they only want Sendirian Berhad because they want minimum capital is about 250,000. Yeah. And then all these auditor reports and everything. So I couldn't get it done last time, but this one I get the account settled properly. Then you know I get it registered with this PLT company.
You did it this year, Hafizah?
For PLT, I registered in the year of 2017.
Okay, when did you register with MOF?
2018.
Okay.
Yeah, my certificate will expire 2021. 3 years, right? And my Bumi Putra, I just got it this year.
Because personally, on my part, I did it into 2018 as well, and not able to do it.
Oh, I got it. 3 years certificate. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, but I think in terms of handling it, and in terms of cost, PLT is cheaper than Sdn Bhd, definitely.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
I think Sdn Bhd has got its status in society.
yes, that's true. Yeah,
It has got its status in society that we cannot deny. Because as I said, a lot of people don't even know when we see PLT, what is this PLT?
Yes.
So they start looking at you weirdly and like, like what T was saying, does such a thing even exist?
Yeah, they will ask you, is it partnership? Is it Sdn Bhd? I say it's not partnership, it's PLT, but yeah.
So I think we have not done enough justice, okay, to PLT to actually expose it to public. It's still a long way to go. All right, it's a long way to go. T, just a question, T, were you able to register with MOF or?
No, I didn't try because I don't think I need to. Yeah, I'm not using any collecting any like credit card information and whatnot, so I didn't try.
Okay.
But again, I think the trigger point is really the audited accounts present. So even if it's not a requirement, if you get it audited, then that's all the MOF wants, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to have. I think at the end of the day, whether you talk about whether it's sole proprietorship or whether it is LLP or even if it's a Sdn Bhd, I'll just tell you something. Please have your accounts in order. Get someone to audit it. It would be good if you have audited accounts because I think again, good check and balance, and you have things in order. It's good corporate governance again. Don't take it for granted that just because it's not mandatory for me to send it for audit, so I declare this year, next year I don't declare. This one all is frightening. Okay, let's not invite this kind of problems. These are unnecessary problems. Okay, guys, it's.
Can I just ask one question?
Yes, you have, because before you all go for sembahyang.
Yeah. Just a quick one. Probably we can think about it and then respond after this. Okay. Comparing LLP and Sdn Bhd. Okay. For example, if there are only two partners, okay, and then the two partners is focusing on doing or the background of the partners is, for example, engineering and there's nothing to do with financing and whatnot. And then their objective and their focus is more on business growth. Yeah. So will it be more cost effective to pay a company secretary and then pay auditors at the end of the year for auditing, as in Sdn Bhd, or will it be more cost effective for us to go to LLP and then employ somebody else to do it? Because employing people paying on a monthly basis is like minimum 1,200 ringgit.
Yeah, of course.
So that scenario. So probably just for us to think about it.
When we come back,
okay,
we can deliberate this issue. All right, we're going to take a break now because it's time for their prayer time, masuk sembahyang. You have a half an hour break. I'll see you at 7:30. Right?
Okay.
Okay.
See you at 7:30.
Okay.
It's better now. Yeah, it's depend lah how you want to. I mean, yeah, how big is how much, how you're looking at how big is your account actually. So yeah, if your transaction is a lot, then you need an accountant for that, at least to help you
Zul,
make a proper bookkeeping.
The other thing is my perspective was from, for example, if you wanted to put you have only 24 hours, each one of us, okay? If you wanted to put focus on growing the company, I mean, if you are a project-based company, right? So, and then the two of you is basically an engineer, both of you. So your mind and your focus is mainly 100% on developing the product, perfecting the product for the customer. And then in order for you to take control of the account side or the financing side, in order for you to do that, is either you employ another person, yeah, with like an admin clerk, or for example, with a salary of probably 800 to 1,000 a month, right? Or you pay the auditors or the accountant at the end of the year. So that was my perspective. Which focus should we put on? Whether we should, the both of the engineers should focus on what they are good at because they are SME, subject matter expert, or they should divide themselves and then be an accountant and take care of finance part-time, or just do whatever they are good at. So yeah, money-wise, yes, we can calculate whether, because my senior Berhad, for example, we paying the accountant, the company secretary, and then the auditors at the end of the year, typically around 7,000 ringgit. Yeah, in total. So divide that by 12, so you get how much per month you are spending. So yeah. So my view is that whether if you are, both of you or your partners are not an accountant or financing background, should you put focus on what you are good at, or what? Should you just play that, whether you have to divide yourself, something like that.
Yeah, but because you're right, Zul. I mean, to a certain extent, if you think about it, if you're not growing the business, then it's pointless doing the accounts also, isn't it? If you're not growing the business, there isn't going to be any revenue coming in.
Yes. I'm talking about the startup within 1 to 3 years. Yeah. So they wanted to focus on the product development within that 3 years. Okay. Yes. After the third years and forward, maybe yes, you start building up the company. You employ financing director, you employ accountant and whatnot. But within that 1 to 3 years too, if you are you have to struggle. You have to make the product good. So you don't have time to think about all this account and whatnot. Just give it to someone else, and then you focus on what you're good at. I mean, yeah.
How about the rest of you? What are your thoughts on this, Aaron?
My thoughts is I like to be jack of all trades. I try to learn each department so I can, easily put on a different cap and move into a different department and play that role. For me, when it comes to accounting and finance, yes, we have to be savvy at it. If you rely on your accountants, this is from my experience, accountants don't give you 100% work. Only you can give you your 100% accuracy because you know your business better than the accountants. So in my point is with, for example, you're having an engineering firm, pace yourself based on your number of transactions. If you're not exceeding 1,000 transactions a month, I think it's fairly easy to use an accounting software to actually handle your problem. And it doesn't really take that much knowledge to key in the data. You can spend a few hours of your time per week or per month to actually complete your whole accounting format.
Okay. Anyone else with any other thoughts?
Okay. I think the concept that you need to apply here is opportunity cost. Okay, if you're good at R&D and developing products, right? And for the first 3 years, right, I presume that it's probably pre-revenue stage. You don't even need an accountant. Or what you can do is actually go to Fiverr.com, get all these freelance bookkeepers, right, to actually do it for you. And I've seen some here, few hundred ringgit for the whole year bookkeeping. You don't even need to pay a few $1,000 for a finance director and accountant to do it for you. And then once you go to the product launch stage beyond 3 years, right, then you get all your a proper accountant full-time and external auditor as well. Then you scale up that way. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, you start small. I mean, it really doesn't matter. Even if you get somebody to just do it on a freelance basis, it's fine, so long as you get the things in place. But of course, I see where Aaron is coming from also, because some of us are able to juggle more than one thing. we are able to do it. For some people, of course, it depends. If you are focused more on whatever that you're doing, that is just your area of expertise, then I think don't go into those areas which you're not familiar with. It depends. Some people, I know some people who run companies, their accounts are not given to anyone. They sit at the end of the day, month end, and they are managing their own accounts. So again, it differs. It depends on I think on individuals or the kind of businesses that you run also. There's no hard and fast rule here, but it's good that we have this knowledge sharing, because then we understand what are the challenges that everybody faces concerning these things as well. All right. All right. So I'm going to move on. Right. So we've got private limited PLC as well. One or multiple owners, not more than 15 members. Read this stuff, please, so that you are familiar with all this. And now I'm actually going to send you off to a discussion.
See the type of company process.
Okay. You're going to be sent off into groups again. State the type of company you possess and why did you choose it. There must be a reason why you're doing what you're doing. All right. So, hang on. Okay. Nature of business. That actually determines the type of company that you choose. All right. So, there must be reasons for this. So, when you get into your groups, discuss this so that those of you who already have experience dealing with Sendirian Berhad, you will be able to share your input as well. Those of you who are dealing with LLP, your input. Those of you who are sole proprietors, you will also have certain input to give as well. So this is an opportunity for you to interact. I'm going to give you probably about 10 minutes and then I'm going to pull you back. All right. So, Mr. Colin, are you there? Mr. Colin?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Can you please assist to break them into groups?
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome. Slick and intern is outside.
Oh, they're not in. Why?
They have not accepted, I guess.
Intern was driving earlier.
Yeah. Haslik has gone in.
Okay.
Had to take Rotan, I guess. Encik Kamal. Encik Kamal is Ms. Nur Hayati's husband. I think he's shy to go in, I guess.
Okay. He's standing in for her.
Yes. I mean, he's joining every classes.
Ah, nice.
He's the wingman. I think he's shy to join the group. His intern. today quite a lot of people have not showed up.
We have got what? 3 people missing, right?
More than 3.
3.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4,
4.
4, 5, 5. 5 is missing.
Hey, how many participants do we have?
We have 20 participants. And 2 extras. One is Irene from the same company with Hesley.
Okay.
And
who's from the same company, sorry?
Irene from
Irene. Okay.
So that is not counted.
Okay.
Then we don't have yeah, that's about it. Only she is replacing, adding on to the numbers lah. Mervin is not there. Another Yati is not there. The MD of the managing director. She can't make it. And we have Samita.
Now, why isn't Samita here?
She's not feeling well.
Okay, this is an online class. Okay.
Yeah. And we have a new participant who's Tinaka. He is also not there. Today I'm like
a bit odd.
Yeah, quite a few. I hope they all show up before 8 lah.
Colin,
Yep.
I think you can pull them back.
Okay.
Thanks, Colin.
Welcome. And I will be missing in action for a while. Huh?
Yeah, tuition.
Yes. Actually, Joey's secretary was in.
Sorry?
Joey's secretary was in, it seems.
Secretary, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's secretary?
Joey.
Uh-huh.
So we have now, Samita came in, Joey came in, who's, two just came in.
Okay, is everyone back?
Yes.
For goodness, I only see the chair, but she's missing. Right. Okay.
All are back.
Now, guys. Wow, everyone drinking a lot of water because you spoke too much, is it? That's good, that's good. Okay. Now, quick question. I think when you went into groups, you also discovered more things that you know, if you're running a particular type of company, what are the challenges that you see? What kind of benefits that you see also? Before we move forward, I'm just going to ask randomly, anybody wants to share something that they discovered, something that will be of use to the rest, please highlight. This is your opportunity. Please share.
I would like to share.
Yeah, please.
If for sole proprietor, and just now I was talking to Mr. T, for sole proprietor, LLP, and also Sendirian Berhad, if anything happens, like let's say financially blacklisted or any summon, for sole proprietor, our name will be tarnished, like will be blacklisted. But for LLP and also Sendirian Berhad, only the company. So our name is still selamat lah. So that's what I learned lah. So I think if you plan to be like a bigger company, maybe Sendirian Berhad would be okay. But for for saving much more cost, LLP would be better option aside from sole proprietorship.
Anyone else?
I think I can add to that. If for Sendirian Berhad, the directors are not free from name tarnishing, because if the company goes bankrupt, you can be blacklisted from SSM for running a company for the next 5 years. So keep that in mind.
From SSM, is it? Oh, I haven't heard that before. Thank you.
See, at the end of the day, you cannot run from it. Some way, one way or another, your name is still there. You get implicated anyway. You can't run from it. It's just that I think for sole proprietorship, it's just you and you alone. So you feel the onus is on you, the burden is on you. Whereas for LLP and Sendirian Berhad, you share it with the rest. So you don't feel so bad, I guess, at the end of the day, because you get other people shouldering it with you. Right?
Okay, for anyone here that has registered for Sendirian Berhad will know that there will be a declaration form for each director, whether you've been bankrupt in the past few years or not. So these are the things they'll look at.
Okay. Anyone else?
Just want to share from our team. Some of us, I think 2 of us have enterprise, and then 2 of us had Sendirian Berhad. I think some of the reasons are quite common. Like for enterprise, usually people just started business and then they just want to test the water, want to see whether the business can survive, whether it would be profitable, and then it's easy and fast to set up. Not much commitment, you don't need a lot of money for it. So that's usually the main choice, including myself. That's why we set up enterprise. For Sendirian Berhad, a lot of my friends just now mentioned that sometimes for because they plan to, for example, apply projects with government and tenders and stuff like that, and that Sendirian Berhad is usually the more common channel or way to approach this business. Yeah. So that's why they tend to go for Sendirian Berhad, basically. And then I just wanted to ask, for PLT just now, right? Does the tax, because we know one of the difference between enterprise and Sendirian Berhad and why people are more keen to go for Sendirian Berhad is like the tax is different, right? Because if you are enterprise, then the tax is higher because you follow the personal income tax. Whereas if you are under Sendirian Berhad, then a lot of the expenses will, it will go under the the company tax bracket, and it's lower. How about PLT? Is it the same as Sendirian Berhad as well?
Okay, as we are moving along, it's on my slides.
Oh, it's on the slides.
You'll be seeing it.
Okay.
Seeing it. In terms of the tax variation, you'll be seeing that as well.
Okay. Besides tax, what about when we say limited liability? Does it mean that for owners of PLT, you still have some burden or some onus on your personal possession?
No.
No, not at all.
Nothing on the personal possession. It's only company.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's one of the things that we need to highlight, the risk of enterprise, even though it's cheap and fast, but the risk is higher, right? Because if something wrong with your business, then what do you call it? Your hutang, your debt can creep into your own personal possession, right?
Yeah, that's what happens most of the time.
Okay.
That's what happens most of the time.
Yeah.
Anyone else? One more person? Anybody else wants to share? Sulaiman?
Yes, Jun. Just my sharing lah. If you are in this Sendirian Berhad company, let's say we take out a loan. So, but in the form there saying that if the bank need the guarantee from the director, for example, so the director sign it. If then I mean the company is not paying the debt lah. So then again the risk is still at the director who signed the form, am I right? So there's it's talk there's I mean as you said just now lah, we cannot run away, am I right?
You cannot.
So I mean
Ultimately you cannot run. That's why I said, if you understand what is the nature of your business before you select the type of business that you want. What are you into? What kind of business? What kind of service? What kind of products? What are you doing? And of course, we all know that business comes with risks. It comes with risks. There's no such thing as a business coming without risk. It comes with risks. So even as the director, if you sign certain things, um, it comes with risk. We all know that for a fact. Okay? But I think
thanks for the clarification.
I think it's good. You see, when we talk to one another and when we share, when we discuss, we find out new things. If we just revolve around the things that we just do, we don't know what is happening with other people. So it's always good to find out. And this way, this is the learning curve. This is where you actually have the opportunity to find out what other people are doing and how they're actually running their business, what they're doing differently, right? And let's move on. Okay, this is a very interesting question. Eventually, it will become a question. Benefits of hiring a lawyer when starting a business. Now, of course, it's always good to get legal advice before you start your business, depending on what you're doing. But some people disagree with the fact that you need a lawyer. Most people feel that they can do things on their own, so they don't seek legal advice or even legal expertise. Again, this is something that perhaps maybe later you'll be discussing this as well. You want to find out, do you need someone from the legal background or to review your corporate and secretarial documents? Do we need somebody of this nature?